Good morning, students. Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss the last point of this chapter. After that, we will complete this chapter. Then we will proceed for another chapter. That is very important parts of your subjects. You must know about the consumer theory and the consumer budget, because every budget has the budget set and the budget line. You all know very well what is budget line and what is the price line and what is the budget set. Budget set is also called the budget constraint, as it shows the limit up to which the consumer can buy a set of two goods with his given income. If a consumer has a budget of 60 rupee to spend on the goods 1 and the goods 2, but also assume that the price of goods 1 is rupees 2 and the price of goods 2 is rupees 1, accordingly we can find out the budget set of the consumer. What does it shows? If the consumer spend his entire income on goods 1, he can buy 30 units of it. On the other hand, if he spend his entire income on good 2, he can get 60. It means that if a person who are consuming his entire income to consume the 2 goods, but at the first hand he is consuming the 30 and in the second hand he is consuming the 60. What is this? That it means that he has some options. Likewise, you can think of various other combinations that a consumer can buy given his income and the price of goods 1 and the goods 2. Budget sets. Budget sets refer to a tenable combination of a set of the 2 goods, given price of goods and the income of the consumer. The budget set is known as the budget constraint. See, what is this? This is the budget line. It is a diagrammatic presentation of the data set in the table which offer a budget line for the attainable and the unattainable. You seeing the line A, B, C, D, which lie on the x-axis and the y-axis. It touches from 12 to the 4. What is this? That is called the budget line. Under the budget line, that is called the attainable. But if you cross the budget line, it will be known as the unattainable. Budget line is a line that separates attainable combinations, also called the feasible combination. Attainable goods known as the feasible, and not attainable combination is known as the non-feasible. Budget line is a line that separates the attainable combinations, also called the feasible combination, from non-attainable, non-feasible combination. Can a consumer go beyond the budget line? Can he cross the budget line? Certainly not, given his budget and the price of the goods 1 and the goods 2. Thus, any point beyond the budget line which shows the non-attainable combinations of the and non-feasible combinations. You are seeing that if you cross the C, that will be known as the unfeasible, as the consumer can only afford to buy a combination that fall along his budget line. If a consumer who fall the budget line, that will be known as the attainable, if he is inside. But if a consumer is outside of the budget line, he cannot afford to buy the combination that are beyond his budget line. This reason is called the non-feasible reason. You see that is the combinations of the oranges and the apples. What see? That if you touches the x-axis and the y-axis, you will see there are certainly changes in the oranges. It means if he is consuming less of the oranges, it means that he is putting another one. He is consuming the one more of the apples. If he is doing like that, what it shows? That shows that to obtain 1 more units of the goods of Apple, the consumer must sacrifice the 3 units of goods Y, known as the oranges. The price of goods X is expressed in terms of the sacrifice of goods Y for obtaining every additional units of the goods X. So that what we can do? We can the Px upon the Py, that is called the delta Y upon the delta X, showing how much of goods Y is to be sacrificed for obtaining 1 more units of the goods X. It must be noted that the slope of the price line is constant, simply because price line is a straight line. You see that it cannot be curved. Okay, simply because price line is a straight line. We know that a straight line has a constant slope. Further, the price line is drawn on the straight line because price of goods and Y are taken as given in the market. The budget line slopes downward. The slope is negative of the ratio of the price of the two goods. Why? Because budget line slopes downward because given consumer income and the price of goods X and the Y, the consumer can buy more of goods X only when he buys less of the goods Y. That's why the budget line can shift from leftward to the rightward. Budget line shift forward without changing its slope. When income of the consumer increases, prices are assumed as constant. Budget line shifts backward also without changing its slope. When income of the consumer decreases, prices are assumed as constant. The budget line also rotates. The budget line can rotate. It's rotate from leftward to the rightward and rightward to the leftward on the increasing of the income and the decreasing of the income, as vice versa. Now, let me move towards the consumer equilibrium, that is called the consumer equilibrium indifference curve analysis. What is consumer equilibrium? Consumer equilibrium refers to the optimum choice of the consumer. It is reached when he maximizes his satisfaction. In terms of the indifference curve analysis, the consumer reaches his optimum choice when 2 conditions are satisfied. It must be located on the budget line, and the second one, he must give the consumer the most preferred combination of the goods and the services under the marginal rate of the substitutions is equal to the Px upon the Py. Budget line should be tangent to the indifference curve. I will let you know that why it is touches the tangent line. You see that the conditions of the consumer equilibrium combination E cannot be attained due to the budget constraint. Why? Because it is set to the budget constant for the consumers. The consumer cannot go beyond this line given his income. The budget line also reflects how much of goods Y is to be sacrificed for the additional units of the goods X. Look at this figure. Indifference curve is convex at the point of the equilibrium. You see that the point C, that is called the equilibrium point. IC curve is convex at the point of equilibrium. Why? Because in a state of equilibrium, the consumer is buying the 3 units of goods X and the 6 units of goods at the Y. He is maximizing his satisfactions because the equilibrium is struck at the point C when the MRS is equal to the Px upon the Pi. Why? Because the rate at which the consumer is willing to substitute goods X for Y. At a point C, the consumer is willing to sacrifice 3 units of goods of Y for 1 unit of goods X. It means that he is spending to attain this one. Look at the figure. Point B does not maximize satisfaction because there exists a point C which is attainable and yields a higher satisfaction, which yields the satisfactions of the consumer. Indifference curve analysis is an improved technique of the analyzing consumer behavior. Besides explaining consumer equilibrium and the consumer surpluses, indifference curve are also in the field of the production, distribution, exchange, public finance, and the international trade. You seeing that the equilibrium point C, we would have the slope of the indifference curve MRX or MRS of the combination of two goods equal to the slope of the budget line Px upon the Py. The rate at which the consumer is willing to substitute goods X for goods Y, given his states and the preferences, coincide with the rate at which the market allows the consumer to substitute good X and Y. At point C, the consumer is willing to sacrifice for two goods, good X and the goods Y are maximizing his satisfactions. This is the optimum allocation of his expenditure, and any departure from this would only lower the level of the satisfactions. Budget line should be tangent to the indifference curve. Let us understand the rationale behind the condition of the equilibrium in detail. Indifference curve and the prices line are the tangent to each other, because the rate at which the consumer is willing to substitute goods X for Y is exactly equal to the rate at which the market allows X for the substitute for Y. Indifference curves is a convex at the point of equilibrium. This is because marginal utility derived from every commodity must decline as we consume more of it. If this law does not hold good, the consumer can never reach at the point of stable equilibrium. Can equilibrium ever be reached when every additional units of commodity offer more satisfaction? We cannot say that. It was the last point of the chapter. Now it has been completed. That's all for the day. Thank you. Have a nice day.